Let's see how to work with the reference of a BIM model in OpenBIM BOSH. We can use models from any application. The only condition is that it is exported to the IFC standard. In this case, we will be working with a Revit model, which has a free plugin that automates the creation of shared projects in the cloud and the export of the model. Then we assign a name to upload the contribution. The model is then visible in the cloud, in BIM Service Center, and we can select it from OpenBIM BOSH. Now let's create a new project in the program. We download the work catalogs, and in this case we link it to a shared project, the one we have just created. This contains the newly created Revit model. Once imported, we check that the reference model is available in the OpenBIM BOSH working area. The floors of the building or the different categories of objects whose visibility can be modified are also imported. The program allows us to work on 2D views or on a 3D view of the model. For example, we activate the 3D view to place an exterior unit. We can activate the detection of the geometry of the floor slab to place it accurately. We can switch to the 2D view to locate the indoor units. In this case, we opted for wall-mounted indoor units. The program allows us to check the installation height using the entry options or, at a later time, from a 3D view, and to correct the installation height if necessary. The next step is to connect the units with pipes. For this purpose, we have an option to connect them automatically. If necessary, we can edit the result of the automatic connection made by the program to coordinate our architectural reference and the existence of suspended ceilings, for example, more precisely. However, the design does not yet meet any thermal load requirements. Thanks to applications such as SypTherm Loads, where we can start from a Revit model to which we add analytical parameters beforehand, we can have a BIM model and we can carry out the analysis and obtain the loads. If we have this model, we can load it from OpenBIM BOSH and check the existence of spaces with specific thermal needs. If the indoor units are located in the spaces, the program can automatically assign thermal loads to these units. If we redesign the installation, we can see that the thermal loads are covered. This is because the program, within the series, assigns the minimum units necessary to cover the thermal needs of each space. We can see how different models have been assigned, and even how the outdoor unit has been resized to a lower size. We may get some partial errors of uncovered demand. To solve them, we can manually choose the best balanced solution, which will allow us to solve all the errors. Once the installation is completed, we can obtain the reports and diagrams. The program also allows us to export this model to our project on the BIM Service Center platform, which allows us to access all the information from any device at any time. The model generated in OpenBIM BOSH and hosted in BIM Service Center can also be used in Revit to obtain documents or to coordinate models.